Hi everyone, I'm Rihanna. Welcome to Moon Salutations for Absolute Beginners. Today we're going to start out in a child's pose or puppy pose. Come into all fours on your hands and your knees with your wrists stacked under your shoulders and your knees stacked underneath your hips. There's a small space between your knees so that your low back feels released. From here, come onto your forearms, elbows stacked under shoulders. Draw your belly button upward towards your spine so that you're engaging your deep abdominals and helping to support your low back. Stack one fist on top of the other and relax your forehead down on your stacked hands. Now gently allowing your shoulder blades to elevate towards your ears while at the same time softly drawing your shoulders down your back to lengthen at your neck. Your lower legs are aligned with the knees, ankles in line with knees, toes in line with ankles. In puppy pose, take one more cycle of your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, down to your belly, and full breath out. If you feel comfortable sitting your hips back in the direction of your heels, they never have to touch. Go ahead and release into child's pose, maybe still on the forearms, with fists stacked and forehead released, maybe a block under the forehead in some position, or it might feel okay to have your forehead down to the mat, reaching your arms forward of your head, connecting your palms to the ground wherever you are, if that feels beneficial. We're going to gently spread our fingers wide. Place our fingers down, the pointer, the thumb, the rest of the fingers, drawing your knuckles that attach fingers to palms downward to the earth. Again, allowing shoulder blades to elevate as they will, while also softening your shoulders away from your ears down your back. Now we're going to add external rotation of our shoulders, meaning that we're gently and very subtly drawing our armpits inward towards each other. This helps us to safely stabilize in and around our shoulders. Continue to elevate your belly button toward your spine. The deep core muscles stay engaged. Maybe your knees are open so that the hips are also open. Releasing the low back. Creating softness where you can. Concentrate on your breath. Slowing it down. Breathing deeply. Allow yourself to be guided by your breath as you inhale to the belly, rising back to stack your joints in all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips. Remember, you can go to puppy or child's pose or any place that you would like to practice at any time, even right in the middle of a moon salutation flow. From here, if you want, tuck your toes, hover your knees and your shins for a moment. Notice how your core felt when you did that. So tuck the toes, hover the knees and the shins. Do that one more time. Hover and release. Now this time, if you want, you can tuck your toes, hover the knees and the shins, start to lengthen your legs, keeping a bend at the knees, maybe deep bend at the knees. Heels don't have to touch the ground ever. And hips are going high into your first downward facing dog. Get comfortable in this pose with your breath. Remember to externally rotate your shoulders so armpits are drawing in. Shoulder blades are elevating towards the ears, but also shoulders soften away from the ears. So those two opposite actions are gently, subtly happening at the same time. Belly button is towards the spine with your breath. From here, inhale to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend the knees a bit more. We're going to begin to walk our feet slowly forward towards the hands. Diesel, you're in the picture. Come over here. Yeah. Can you sit or even lay down? From here, maybe a forward fold if that feels nice. We're going to keep the knees bent. They might be bent a lot. My feet are stepped wide, about hips distance. Rooting through your heels. Keep the toes spread gently wide and placed down lightly. Inhaling to come up, halfway lift. Remember, belly button is towards the spine. We want to feel open at our heart or across the chest. Hands can be on blocks or the legs somewhere. To open the heart and the chest, we're drawing our shoulders down our back and also towards each other. Think of length through the crown of your head, down your neck, your spine, and out of your tailbone. As you exhale, fully releasing the crown of your head downward towards the ground to forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees a whole bunch, sink through your heels to load your glutes, open your heart like you're doing a squat. Continue or take another breath in to stand tall. Exhaling, hands to heart. Your mountain pose, also called Tadasana. Maybe the feet are about hip width apart. Other people sometimes touch the big toes, heels apart. It's whatever feels better in your body. We're relaxing the shoulders, down the arms, palms open to the sky. And fingers are active yet relaxed hands. Take another cycle of breath. And come back to the top of your mat if you left it. Inhale, reach up. Maybe you look up towards the sun and the moon. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. The heels are grounded, toes as well. Halfway, a long spine. As you exhale, this time we're going to set our hands down. Step back to all fours so the joints begin stacked. Walk your knees back or your hands forward, or maybe a bit of both, until arriving at a variation of plank with knees down. Hips are lower than shoulders. We're long through the head, neck, and spine. Shoulders drawing down your back towards each other to keep the heart, the chest open. Belly button towards your spine. Notice how the low back feels supported now. As you exhale, we're going to see if we can keep our elbows tucked in so that they brush the elbows. The rib cage. Elbows brush the rib cage as we lower slowly down to our belly. You can stay just like this, belly down. Keep drawing the shoulders down your back towards each other gently. Now draw your legs towards each other as well. Squeeze and root the tops of your feet down until you feel the muscles of your legs activate. 1 to 2 pounds of weight into your hands. If you'd like, low cobra. Inhale, pressing through the hands, strengthening the back of the body. Lift the heart. Don't worry how high you go. It's all about length. Exhale and release. Let's do 2 more low cobras if you want, just so you can get comfortable with the pose. Inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale, a heart opener, low cobra. Exhale to release it. Inhale, press up. Exhale, child's pose, maybe a puppy pose, or downward facing dog. Eventually meeting up in downward facing dog. Remember, heels don't have to ever touch the ground. Knees are bent at least a little, but possibly a whole bunch. I like to gaze back towards my big toes. Look anywhere that it feels like your head, neck, and spine come into alignment. On an inhalation, rise to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and slowly step your feet towards your hands. Hands to blocks or on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, root to rise through your squat, climb your mountain. Saluting to the sun, especially the moon, with our moon salutations. As you exhale, drawing your hands down past your face, your throat, into your heart center. Reconnecting with your breath. Breathing down to the bottom and the backs of your lungs. Concentrate on fully exhaling as well. And possibly taking a moment to set an intention that will guide you through your moon salutations. Something positive, a point of focus in your mind's eye. Once you have that focus, inhale, maybe reach up and gaze to the sky. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, hands down on blocks or on the ground. We're going to step our right leg back. Release our back knee down, maybe to your mat or a folded blanket underneath the knee if that feels nice. Remembering that your blocks have a lot of different settings. Rooting through your feet where they touch the ground, especially think of sending your weight back into your glutes. So keeping it light on the knees. We're also drawing gently our left hip back and our right hip forward until our hips feel aligned with each other. Forget about what it looks like. Look for the feeling more than aesthetics. Now, before we even come up, we're going to start drawing our legs towards each other in all directions. Inhale to rise, keeping the hips feeling level and the legs engaged towards each other. You'll notice front knee is over the ankle. You can have back toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels better in your balance. And on the back knee, maybe reaching the arms up, start to experience length at the front of the hips. If your shoulders feel tight, make sure you're softening them, but also you could cactus your elbows downward lightly towards the rib cage, hands to heart or hips. Take one more breath in. Be guided by your breath as you exhale, hands coming down to meet the ground. Step back to all fours or a variation of plank. You can always put your knees down. Once you find your form in plank, exhale, maybe choosing to lower halfway or onto your belly. Inhaling a low cobra or from halfway down, maybe a high cobra. Elbows are bent, neck is long, the heart is open. Exhale, child's puppy or down dog. We'll all eventually meet up in down dog. From down dog, walk your big toes to touch. Keep a space between the heels. Either stay here with the feet rooted, or inhale, lengthen slowly your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend from your right knee. Look forward past your hands. Draw your right knee forward in the direction of your hands. Release your back knee down. Continue to control with your core, stepping the right foot forward. Stacking front knee over the ankle, rooting at the feet where they touch the ground. Leveling your hips, drawing right hip back, left forward. Then rooting to rise, use the glutes to come up. Inhale, your low lunge. Do what you want with the arms, with the hands. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down on something. Maybe your blocks. Inhale, tuck your back toes, float your back knee. Back heel is lifted in alignment with the ankle. There's energy through the back leg with a softness at the back knee. Our high lunge legs with a low torso. Keep rooting through your right heel. We're going to really load our right glute. As you exhale, control with your core, stepping the left foot forward and fold. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees, squat to the top of your mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Return to any intentions that you set. The beginning of your moon salutations. An intention can also be called a sankalpa. Same thing. Next breath in, reaching up, saluting to the moon above. And exhaling, bowing forward. Folding in. Inhale halfway. Exhale, hands down on something to step your left leg back. Release your back knee down. Low lunge with back toes tucked or untucked. Focusing on feeling the hips level. Drawing your legs towards each other in all directions. That lower body activation and stabilization. It's all happening in a gentle way, so you're still able to experience length at the front of the hips. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank if you'd like. Modify or skip the flow if you want to take the flow. Exhale, lower halfway or onto your belly. Inhale, a low or a high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your big toes to touch, heels apart. Inhale, if you'd like, float your left leg toward the sky for three-legged dog. When you're ready, bend from your left knee. Exhale, drawing left knee forward. Look past your hands and continue to step the left foot between your hands. Inhale, low lunge. And see how it feels to move with your own unique pattern of breath. As you exhale, bring your hands down on something. Inhale, tuck the back toes, float the back knee. Hips are still level, root through the left heel. Exhale, step forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, climb your mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. If you want, we're going to add on now, interlacing our fingers, holding hands with yourself, flip your palms to the sky. Another breath in, get long through the spine, feel tall. As you exhale, lean up and over one direction without leaning forward or back, just directly over to one side. Crescent moon side stretch. You can look down, forward, or up. What feels best in your neck? As you inhale, we're going to re-stack our spine, get tall. For our exhale, up and over, other direction. On an inhale, slowly restack your spine. You can look up to the sky if you want. And as we exhale, taking a forward fold. From here, if it feels good to join your hands behind your low back, maybe with a strap, hug a finger or two, or interlace your fingers, drawing hands down to your low back, lengthening your neck, crown of the head releases, shoulders dripping down the back. Notice your breath and where you feel sensation in your body. Next inhale, slowly unwind your hands. Float your arms down at your sides. Halfway lift. Get long. Exhale, hands down on something. Step your right leg back. Back knee can come down or stay lifted for high lunge legs. Maybe hands come to some blocks. Back heel is in line with back ankle. Back heel is lifted. Front knee is over the ankle. Left hip draws back. Right hip draws forward gently. Rooting through the left heel and out, energy out through the right heel. Inhale, rise your torso. Experiencing sensation gently at the front of the hips. Rooting down through your toes and the edges of the feet, but mostly the heels to load the glutes. Take another cycle of your breath down to your belly and fully back out. Inhale. As you exhale, hands come down, step back to your plank, modify or skip it. Follow your exhale if you'd like to go halfway or to your belly. Inhale, low cobra, high cobra, or maybe keeping a bend at your elbows, shoulders down your back so the neck is long, the heart is open, pressing through the tops of your feet. From high cobra, maybe float the knees, upward facing dog. Throat feels a little open here. Exhale, and maybe child's puppy or down dog. From down dog, walk your big toes to touch, heels apart. Inhale, sending your right leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, bend from the right knee, slowly guiding your right foot up between your hands. The transitions are slow and controlled. They're just as important, if not more important, than the eventual pose you'll end up in. Tuck your back toes, float your back knee. Rooting, leveling the hips. Then as you breathe in, rise, high lunge, other side. Next, exhale, hands down on something. Inhale, lengthen up and down the body. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, climb your mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, hold hands with yourself. Exhale, press your palms to the sky, big stretch. Next, exhale, lean up and over one way. Take a cycle of breath. Inhale, slowly restack your spine. You should feel your core being strong as you find realignment at center. Next, exhale, up and over, other direction. Inhale, restack your spine slowly. And as you exhale, forward fold. Bringing your hands to rest at your low back. Hug a strap, finger or two, or interlacing your fingers. Lengthen your neck, release the crown of your head down. This is a huge stretch in the shoulders that if you're new to yoga, maybe you don't practice this just yet. You can stay here if you want. If you'd like to try it out, very slowly listening to the body as you inhale and draw your hands up towards the sky for a shoulder rinse. Look for a place between effort and ease where this feels beneficial. Next, inhale, unwind the hands and float the arms down slowly as you also come up into halfway lift. Exhale, hands down on something. We'll guide our left leg back for high lunge stack. The front knee over the ankle. Remember, from the ground up, level the hips. We find the pose in our lower body, then add the upper body. Inhale, torso rises. Neutral low back curve, so make sure you're not sticking your bottom way out or over tucking the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down, step back to your plank. Add a flow if you want as you exhale, halfway or to your belly. Inhale, a heart opener like low cobra, maybe upward facing dog on the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your big toes to touch, heels apart. Inhale, option 2, lengthen your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, guide your left foot up between your hands. Set it up. Rooting, leveling the hips, then follow an inhale, rise the torso. Connect with your breath everywhere you go. Exhale, hands down on something. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, climb your mountain. Exhale, hands to heart, reconnecting with your intention, your sankalpa. Imagining the moon above you in the sky, shining down on you, and what that lunar energy might feel like if you could experience it in your mind, body, and energy field. Let your intention or sankalpa be powered by that lunar energy that you've harnessed with your moon salutation. We'll take one more flow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Make your way to plank. Maybe following your breath halfway or to your belly. Inhale, a heart opener like low cobra or up dog. Exhale, child's pose. Maybe puppy. Maybe the knees are open. Hips don't have to be anywhere near heels. Put a prop under the forehead if that feels nice. Reconnect with your breath. If you'd like to open up the space between your shoulder blades, some people like to practice eye of the needle, threading your left arm under your heart, left palm up to the sky. And then releasing the shoulders with the breath. Breathing down to the bottom and the backs of your lungs. Every inhale, you feel the space between your shoulder blades opening. Every exhale, you soften even more. For 2. Inhale. And we'll switch sides. This time, right arm under your heart, right palm up to the sky. Two more cycles of breath. And slowly releasing your child's pose. Thread the needle, unwind. When you feel ready, and crawling into a seat, slowly recline onto your back. And you can always come down on your side and then your back. From here, taking your arms out to the sides of your body, palms up to the sky, feet releasing down, knees aligned with hips. We'll start to exhale, guide our legs over one way as we look the other. And gentle twist from your mid-abdominals, the rib cage up. Inhale, follow your breath, knees to the sky. Exhale, over the other direction. Gaze away from the legs. 2 more, one on each side. Inhale to center. As we draw our legs to our right, this time we'll look up and exhale over, gazing to the left. If your left shoulder feels tight, you can keep the left arm draped over your heart. Otherwise, maybe it feels good to lengthen the left arm out to your left side. Recline, twist, resetting your spine, your nervous system with your breath in this posture. One more cycle of breath on this side. Very slowly on an inhale, unwind or twist, reset at center. Exhale, slowly guiding your legs to the left. Inhale, look up, and exhale, slowly twisting, adding rotation towards your right. And your breath. And 2 more cycles of breath. When you're ready, slowly returning to center. As you exhale, if you want to hug your legs in, maybe under the thighs or over your shins, you can maybe rock a couple of times side to side. You can take a rest here. You can practice additional poses from here. Or you can close out your moon salutations with me as it has begun to rain. I don't know if you could tell it was raining here. Just sprinkling. And so the light in me honors the light in each of you. We'll close our practice. And namaste. And thank you for practicing moon salutations with a few extra details with me.